Hey, we're live on Instagram, live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Good evening. Welcome to episode 230. The way this will work for the next 10 minutes or so, we'll just kind of get in, get settled. I'll say hi to everybody, check in with you, and then we'll record the show, episode 230, shortly. If you're just tuning into the Facebook, I get a couple comments on this every once in a while. If you're just tuning into Facebook, watching this video, then you're going to probably want to fast forward 10 minutes or so. But certainly if you listen to the episode in the app, all of this gets cut out, and the app strictly is the entire show just from the beginning to the end without all of this kind of pre-show stuff. So Corey checks in from Connecticut. Good to see you. Good talking to you this afternoon. Lee is live, so that's always fun. Mandy checks in. Good evening to you. Idaho checks in. Betty says, great day. Susan checks in from California. Wendy's here less than a week, right? Saturday night, Wendy will be in Indianapolis. Probably not supposed to share that, but I did. Let's see. Catherine is here from Austin, Texas. Chrissy's moving over to Facebook. Got it. Let's see who else is here. Kirby, good to see you. Kirby, guys. Kirby is over on YouTube. If we can just move him over to Facebook, you would all be able to see him, but he's hanging out there. Very fun. Let's see, I missed. Hildy is here. Good evening to you. Dina is here, trying all kinds of new food. If you haven't seen her post in the Wise Women group, it's not something I'm putting on my list anytime soon. So, Dina, I win the award for pickiest eater. If you're eating that, I win the award, period. Kirby says it's way late for me on the East Coast. I'm on the East Coast. I get it. I just got back from a run. I'm at that stage again where I need to run more. That 6-mile run that I did the other day really kind of re-energized me to go, yeah, I like running consistently. So about an hour ago, I'm like, I'm going for a run. So I did. So very fun. Debbie is here from Rockford, Illinois. Good evening to you. Maggie checks in, says, hey, yeah. Marilyn says, I am here and I hate broccoli, just saying. So we're BFFs forever. Maggie says, hi. Glenda is here from Salt Lake City. Jan checked in from Illinois. Lori is here. Heather, still raining in Ontario. Whew. Let's see. Judy says, hi, friends. Pennsylvania's checking in. Megan says, hi. Hi, Megan. Carrie is in attendance. Check that off. Very fun. All right, Kirby. I'll go to work with you in the morning for sure. So good night to Kirby already. Kirby's out. Got it. Pulling chocks and going. Alice from Phoenix, good evening to you. Diane, good evening. Checking in. Pam out of Colorado Springs. Hello. Awesome. Lori says, start over with Couch to 5K today. Very nice. The Bronx. Harper checks in very, very nicely. Somerset, Massachusetts. Jamie says, go Red Sox. Yeah, my Red Sox hat is over there. Go Red Sox. Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Elaine checks in. Good evening to you. We're on YouTube. Let's see who else. Karen is checking in. Very nice. Marcia's here. Julie's here. Stacy. Let's see. Margie says hello. Donna says hello, everyone from Kentucky. Hildy says no broccoli. We're going to have to make a hashtag for broccoli, I think. Dag broccoli or something. Ginger and Steve check in from Atlanta, Georgia. Good evening to you over on Instagram. Let's see. Karen is saying hi to Diane. Let's see. Marie says hello. Having a great past few days. Very fun. You know, a lot of that's in the mind. If you get it in your mind that you're having a great day, it almost always happens. Jamie says we are tied for picky eaters. I get it. We need a picky eater hashtag. That's what we need. Anna is here. Good evening to you. Cheryl says broccoli casserole from Virginia. Oh, brother. Sharon is here. Anna is here. Good evening to you. Lisa says, let's all bring broccoli to the Fat Dag World Tour events. You will be quickly uninvited. You will be escorted out by the police. I've already instructed my security detail to turn the magnetometers to vegetometers. And so if you try and get through there with any sort of broccoli in your shoes, in your hat, it will be identified and you will be escorted off the premises. I'm just giving you fair warning. That's what I know. So Lee, if you wanna risk it, my friend, I invite you to do so. Kathy is here. Another Kathy checking in from California. Corey is here. Rainy, I got you, Corey, earlier. But Corey now is saying no broccoli with emojis. Joanne, Chile, Syracuse. Keith checks in. Let's see. Suburbs of Pennsylvania. Catherine checks in. Cheryl is here. Let's see. Heather is saying hi to Anna. Denise says, sorry guys, watching my Dubs make history in Chicago. We'll catch you later. Yeah, I get it. Hagerstown, Maryland checks in. Listen to one of your podcasts at the gym today, trying to catch up. Episode 229. Great one again. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. It's always interesting when I get notes from folks where you're listening and how you're listening. I think it's kind of cool. So thank you for letting me know when and where you're tuning in. That's very fun. Hi, briefly from New York. It says Keith. I saw you checking in earlier. I have not seen Daisy. I don't know where Daisy is, but we'll say hi to her anyways, just to make sure. Orrington, Maine. Tanya checks in. It's funny. I'm from Maine, but I don't know where Orrington is. Tanya, where's Orrington? So I used to live in Lewiston, Auburn. Lived in Litchfield, which is Augusta Gardner area, and I lived in South Berwick. So I don't know where Orrington is. Very fun. Christy says, I'll eat your broccoli. By all means, it is all yours. I'll even order extra for you. Therese says, happy Mundag. It is Mundag. I like it. Let's see. Anna says, I love broccoli casserole. Whew. Howdy from Texas. Lynn checks in. Jan is saying hi to Marcia. Debbie says, I may like broccoli casserole. Yeah, I'm not so sure. Diane, hello from Boston, the city of the World Series champs. I like it. Jan says, what are Dubs? I'm not sure either. Jane says, registered for San Francisco at my walker. Is that going to work? Yep, it absolutely will. So the way that works is it's just a timed event. So if you want to run, you run. If you want to walk, you walk. If you want to just stand there, you stand there. And we all, at the same time, when we all get to the finish line, we hang out some more. So I typically, I'll walk with a few people, and then I'll run for a little bit, and I'll catch up the new people, and then I'll run backwards, and I'll run forward, and I'll run backwards. In DC, my 5K was a little over 6.5 miles because I just was trying to catch up with different people. So yeah, whether you walk, whether you run, whether you stand there and don't move, you're certainly welcome. If you want to be there in San Francisco, I purchased my ticket yesterday finally, so that is now officially confirmed. Fatdag.com, click on the event tab. That'll tell you the details, but we're going to be in Christie Park. I want you to register through my site just so I have an idea of the head count. I'll push out one more email as it gets closer so you all know what's going on there. So Kimberly checks in from Southern California. Sharon from Illinois. Let's see. Elaine. I have Facebook and YouTube. Different experience than yeah. No, they are all different. Anna saying, I'll watch this in the morning, calling it an early night. Don't blame you there. Sleep is the best thing you can do in your journey. TJ91, good evening to you over on Instagram. Welcome. So again, what we'll do a couple more minutes. I'll just get checked in, and then we'll get episode 230 recorded. You can watch the recording live here, and then I will push it to the app. For those of you who don't want to listen to all this, it'll certainly be in the app. Just got in from a run, still wearing my, look at this kind of handy dandy run, like they turn into gloves. Isn't that cool? So it makes, this time of year makes running way more fun. I've said it before, there's no such thing as bad weather. There is bad clothing choices for the current conditions. So that's the deal there. Let's see, Margaret said, had surgery to get my gallbladder out today. Whew. Any advice how to get back on the program? Hello from Knoxville. Yeah, I certainly would ask your doc while you're still recovering there. That's the priority. You can eat healthier no matter what your diagnosis is, but I don't know. Certainly I don't know what your discharge orders were as far as dietary restrictions, if any. So that's a great conversation there. But we all know what our bodies can and should and shouldn't have, and in what degree and what moderation. So just because you have that, just you have that diagnosis doesn't mean pizza is on the menu 5 nights a week. That would have been my scenario. So yeah. So the advice is to stay mentally checked in, which is exactly what you're doing while you're kind of little bit laid up. Get into the podcast, start digging into previous episodes, and just get your mind right. That's the best thing you can do. Corinne says, "Why are you such a broccoli hater?" Yeah, I don't know. I'm working on it. Corinne, so I'd never had broccoli in my life until like 2 days ago, and I didn't really like it, but I tried it twice. I'm not done. I'll figure it out because I'm on a mission now. I want to eat healthier. I'm a picky eater. I've told you that, and one of the things that frustrates me is anytime I go somewhere, I have a difficulty with the menu. I want to get rid of that, and it's going to take a while, and I'm committed to working on it. So we'll see. So right now, I'm just having fun with broccoli because it's gross. Angie says you're such an amazing inspiration to all of us. Well, I think that's true for you as well. Let's see. Corinne says like the quarter zip. Yep. It's it's the run. It's the run shirt. I like the pockets and the sleeves. That's what I like. Nora says, "Are there Bloody Marys at the finish line?" There are if you bring them. Yep. So for sure. Fort Wayne, Indiana. Diana is here. Good evening to you. Not far at all. Kimberly, good evening to you. Joanne says, I forgot the Bills were playing tonight. I was going to bed early too. Yep. Yeah, I think the Bills and the Patriots are playing, right? I'm missing both. I don't have television, so I have a television and we have regular TV, so it probably, I don't know what channel it's on, but I probably don't get it. I only get whatever comes in over the air. TJ says points for trying, keep pushing it. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Yep. So Harper, good night to you. Debbie says, I disagree. There is bad weather. No, not necessarily. Sure, maybe you're not going to run in a tornado or a hurricane, but the typical average weather, you can run in just about anything. Lori says, I walked outside today, felt great. It was in the high 60s. I think it was mid 50s when I went for my run tonight. It felt great. Let's see. Yeah, Christy says, cook the broccoli. I did. It didn't help at all. Not even like, okay, it was 0.0000% one better, for sure. Yeah, so you can do that. Jody says Pat's up by 6, so certainly keep me posted. During the live show, I will kind of keep an eye on what's going on with the Patriots. And so I'll kind of keep an eye. Whatever you tell me, I'll believe. I won't repeat it. Jan says there was beer at the finish line. Jan, there was beer at the finish line. There was beer in the middle of the race at the Indy Ultimate, if you remember correctly. Let's see. Awesome. I love this. Jane says this group really helped me get going in the right direction. So positive and fun. 9-3 Pats over the Bills. I like it. And so if it's on ESPN, I don't get it. Nope. Let's see. Jan checks in from McDonough, Georgia. Good evening to you. And then Paula says going to bed. Got it. I would always choose bed over the live show if I were you, for sure. All right, cool. All right, let's do this. Let's get episode 230 recorded so that you can have it in the app. You can hang out for a little bit. You can watch it, and then you can get to bed as well. Kathleen says I spent 28 minutes on my stationary bike. We'll be walking a 10K on Saturday. And as I said, Seymour still does not work. I wonder why my iPad doesn't do that, but well, cool. Walking a 10K Sunday sounds exciting, and 28 minutes on your stationary bike. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, are you ready for this? Episode 230. Let's do this. Chris says, just leaving my workshop in Phoenix. Very fun. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Let's get this down. Mic check, testing, testing, 1, 2, test, 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 testing, 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 testing. Here we go. Sound check, audio, 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 audio. All right, cool. All right, that looks good there. Cheers. Cheers. Here we go. Let's press record. I want to make sure I get that always done. Cool, that's being done. Here we go. Instagram's having troubles too. Man. Facebook is having trouble too. Well, the good news is I'm going to get it recorded, and so it'll be in the app. So record. I press record. Got it. It's recording. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. So awesome. Cheers. I always like it when I remember to take it out in time to make it cold, or not as cold. I mean, so. All right, let's do this, shall we? With any luck, I won't hack all the way through it because, like I said, I just got in from a run, battling a little bit of a cold. Those two things go hand in hand. So, anyway. All right, are you ready? Dun, 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 dun. All right, here we go. I am your host, Fat Dag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at fatdag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're at a point, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. That's right. Welcome to episode 230 of Wise Advice. Always good to be here with you. Thanks for hanging out. Hopefully you're joining us on the live show. If not, why? Go to fatdag.com, click on the event calendar. You'll know when it comes out. Follow the Wise Advice Twitter account. That's the best way to get notified. As soon as I know I can commit to a show, I push it out through Twitter on the Wise Advice side. It auto sends it out to you 15 minutes before. It auto sends it out to you the moment we go live, so you don't miss a single second. So thanks for being here. I want to open the show with an email from Liz. Liz says, "Hi, Fat Dag. Hey, this is only my second email to you ever. I weigh 10 plus more pounds than I did at that time, which stinks, but that's not why I'm writing. I've been slacking on listening to Wise Advice, but I have been listening lately. I'm currently listening to the Indie Ultimate Recap, and I just wanted to quickly say it's one of my favorite episodes. It's really inspiring to hear from all these real people. It just means that more and more, it just feels more interesting to me than the emails you read on the podcast. They are brief snippets of those people's journeys, but they cover all that I need to hear. Thanks for what you do, and thanks to all of them for joining in the podcast." Liz, thanks for your note. I agree. That was such a blast to be able to do that. It was one of those spur of the moment opportunities. We were all together, and I said, I want to kind of capture some of the emotion that we had together from the Indie Ultimate. I would really love, one of my goals really is to now transform this podcast to have more of you guys verbally on the show, and maybe do some interviews with you, bring you on often. It just logistically, man, it's just a challenge trying to get it scheduled. But I think I've got to work it out because I get so many comments about the Indie Ultimate episode, and I think it would be kind of fun to actually hear the voices behind some of these words. So, I'll figure it out. We'll get there. But let's talk about this, Liz. So, you've been slacking on listening to the podcast. I get it. I think it's indicative for a lot of us on this journey. We go through stages. We go through stages where we're all in, we're dialed in, we're focused. And there are things we do every single day. We wake up, we have a routine. And that routine, in some cases, involves you listening to the podcast. And then slowly but surely, one day you skip it, next day you skip it. And suddenly other things in your routine are changing as well. So the days that your routine now doesn't revolve around you staying focused and you staying dialed in, that's certainly where other things in your routine start to slip as well. And I believe that it's at that point we start to lose the focus. You have to find a way, you have to have some sort of mechanism to bring you back. So whether it be, I think a great one is to sign up for the Twitter alerts on WhysAdvice, right? At least get them, the notifications turned on so that every day it's going to ping you and remind you, hey, we got this show tonight. And maybe it brings you back into the community at a time when you're finally ready to come back. And so, Liz, thanks for certainly getting back. And then again on the note that it's really inspiring to hear from these real people. I think that's the cool thing about everything we do here is we really are just working with people who are just like us. And the more we tell these stories, these brief snippets, the more we share them, then what we realize is that we're not in this alone. We're doing this as a community, and the power of this community is absolutely incredible. So, Liz, you got this. Thanks for your email. You absolutely, you're in the right frame of mind. I think that's the coolest part is so the fact that you've taken time to redocument another email back in, it lets me know all that I need to know. It lets me know that you're thinking, okay, I'm back in it. And that's all that I want to hear is that you're back into being mindful of the process. I don't ask you to be perfect. I don't ask you to rock it. What I ask you to do is to be mindful to the process and stay accountable to that process. So, Liz, keep up the amazing work. Can't wait for your third email. I know that one's going to be a doozy. So thank you. Donna at Louisville, Kentucky writes in. She says, hey, during the broadcast last night, I mentioned something you asked me to send via email. Well, here it is. My doctor took me off my second of 3 diabetes drugs that I'm on. Stopping the use of this drug will save me about $2,000 a year. It'll save my insurance company about 3 times that amount. Happy dance here. This is my favorite part of this journey. I had a conversation today about this in particular. So I want to kind of preface it in my own world. When I was very overweight and I was on blood pressure medicine, I was on blood pressure medicine for about 12 years. And I remember the very first time the doctor suggested that I go on meds, and I did not want to. I was adamant that I didn't want to do it, and I think when I brought him home, I refused to take him for a couple days, and then slowly the reality hit me that I actually do want to live, so I do want to kind of take them. And for 12 years I took them, and for 12 years my doctor said to me, if you would just lose weight, you may be able to take yourself off them. Now, certainly genetics play a lot into this, but in my case, it was strictly because of my inactivity and my weight. But I didn't truly make that correlation. I didn't know that I had the ability to reverse some of the health benefits that I gave away simply because I couldn't get my eating under control. So Donna, being able to reverse a diabetes diagnosis, taking off 2 out of 3 medications, saving yourself $2,000 a year, you did that. You are reversing the medical diagnosis that you gave yourself. You're undoing that by continuing to change and modify your behavior. Man, if that's not inspiring, that I think what I wanted, the reason I asked you to send this in, what I wanted people to know is there are a lot of instances. There are a lot of instances where you improving your lifestyle improves your health. You can regain health benefits that you have previously given away. Think about that for a second. At some point, your actions, your choices gave you this medical diagnosis. In some cases, right? It's not always the case, but in some cases, that's entirely true, probably more than not. But we accept it as old age. We accept it as just the fact that, we're just getting older. And sometimes it's actually our entire lifestyle is contributing to this. And it's incredibly encouraging to hear that sometimes, and very often I should say, we can reverse some of this. We can regain the health benefit that we previously given away. Donna, you're proof of that. And how cool is it that you're saving $2,000 a year? Boy, that's like real money. And I'm incredibly proud of you. And I want you to take that $2,000 and I want you to go splurge yourself. I want to go buy a whole new wardrobe. I want to go buy something to cement in that you are completely changing your life. Way to go for sure. Out of Alberta, Canada, Edmonton, Erin writes in, says, "Hey, Fat Dad, today my WW coach challenged us to be thankful. She asked us to thank someone who has inspired us and helped us with our weight loss journey. So I immediately thought of you. I just wanted to drop a quick email to say thank you. I was running low on motivation and then I discovered your podcast. I had learned so much from you and the other members who have written to you. It motivated me again, and I am 2 weeks away from lifetime. I never thought I would be able to say that. Once again, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to let us know that we have support. It means so much." Aaron out of Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And then says, "By the way, hockey is the best sport. Go Oilers, go." Very fun. Aaron, congratulations, 2 weeks from lifetime. That means you hit goal. That means you are rocking the program. That means you have completely changed your life. That means you took your own journey into your own hands, and now you are giving back by sharing that this is possible. I think one of the coolest things I get in a lot of these emails is when someone says something along the lines of, "I never thought I would be able to do this," or "I never thought I'd be able to say that." And I think, again, it goes back to the previous email. We get in this mindset where whatever we are dealt, we're assuming we have to play it, and use that. And you can fold that hand. You can throw it in and say, "No, I want a different hand," and you can redeal and get a new life. But I think a lot of times we don't know that's possible. We just accept it as reality, and that belief, distance, and faith. And that's why I tell you, I will always believe in you. There was a time in my own journey I didn't believe in me, and someone gave me the hope and the strength to believe in me, and now I get it. And so I certainly share that hope and belief with everybody, and I want you to know that you can do it. So 2 weeks from lifetime. 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you will hop on the scale, you will celebrate this amazing victory, and then the work begins. And then you now continue to be the inspiration. You continue to be the prize. You continue to show everybody that this is doable. Now, I agree with you. The folks from the Wise Win community who write in, who share, that's what makes this podcast special. Very little of it is me. It's you guys sharing your story. I've said this on many episodes. If I only shared my story, you would only have that one frame of reference, and it would be boring after a while because it doesn't relate to half of you. But the reality is everybody's journey is different. And so everybody, by sharing, you can pull bits and pieces out of episodes that go, "Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I didn't think I could get here either." Or even worse, "I don't think I can get there. I'm actually certain I can't." And then along comes an email from Aaron that says, "I didn't believe it either. And look at me, I'm 2 weeks from lifetime." That gives a little glimmer of hope for someone to say, "Oh boy, I think I can do this. I think I want to try. I'll let the community believe in me up until a point where I will take over and say, I believe in me." So Aaron, thank you for your international connection out of Canada. Thanks for writing in. Congratulations on lifetime. Incredibly proud of you. I want you to focus on a couple things as you cross that bridge, as you cross that finish line into lifetime. I want you to take a mental and do it on paper, but an assessment of where you are mentally. I want you to write down, how good do you feel? I want you to write down some things that maybe you didn't know you could do, and I want you to keep them written down, and I want you to read them often, so that when they suddenly become not true, you realize that you're slowly maybe drifting away or not. But I want you to have them written down the day you reach lifetime, so that you can kind of document it and cement it in so you always know what lifetime feels like. It's that feeling that gets us and keeps us going. So thank you very, very, very much. Before we get into the next email, I want to say hi to Daisy. Daisy just joined us on the live show. So often I kind of skip her. So hi, Daisy. And then next up, Liz out of Massachusetts writes in. She says, the goal is a feeling. I finally get it. Well, dear Fat Dag, I know I'm about to write the sentence that starts about a bazillion of your emails, but I've been listening for a while and I've been waiting for the right moment to write in. I had thought I would write in when I hit goal, but that moment hasn't come yet. But I've had an experience over the past month that I felt should be shared because I finally understand what you mean when you say goal is a feeling. Well, let me give you some backstory. Having listened to the majority of your episodes multiple times, I know that the beginning of my story is one many of your listeners can relate to. I felt fat for as long as I can remember feeling anything about my body. I remember my neighbor being amazed because I could eat a whole pizza as a 10-year-old. I remember switching to skim milk when I was in the 8th grade to try and lose a few pounds for the graduation dance. I remember buying a dress for my 16th birthday party in a size that was too small. They didn't have the right size. I swore I would eat and diet and exercise until it fit. And then when the party arrived, not fitting into it and sobbing while buying a different dress. Enter freshman year of college, where whatever minimal exercise I got in high school, it disappeared. Late night snacks and parties appeared. And I gained more like the freshman 25 than the freshman 15. Sophomore year of college, I did manage to lose the weight I had gained, and I kept myself between a size 10 and a 12, and averaging a weight between 175 and 185 for the next 10 years. For reference, I'm a muscular 5'7" with a healthy BMI range starting at 159. I could give you the back and forth of all the different diets and exercise programs I started and quit before finishing of those 10 years, but it wasn't until May of 2017 that my most recent and final journey with WW began. Before I get to that part, I do want to share 3 key events that happened prior to 2017. The first is that I started in therapy. While no one in my family ever made comments about my size, I grew up listening to my mother harshly critique her own body. My harsh inner voice is mirrored after hers, and I know it breaks her heart. Now I'm the proud mama of 2 beautiful girls, and I clearly remember looking down when my youngest was an infant and thinking that my inner demons could easily screw them up too. I was determined not to let that happen, so I found myself a good therapist and I started working. The second thing is I went to a nutritionist and I tracked calories and macros, and I learned a lot about food. I'm not a picky eater and I love fruits and vegetables, but I had lots of stomach issues, and it took me a while to figure out exactly what may have been behind those issues. The nutritionist helped me lose weight. I was down to my lowest of 165 pounds, but then we decided to move, and my only coping mechanism was food. Well, and the pounds quickly came back on. Needless to say, I broke up with the nutritionist, but the things I learned from her stuck with me. Then in 2016, I went to see an intuitive eating nutritionist. There, I started to learn that food was not good or bad, and that some of the rules I had imposed on myself were creating conditions that made me binge. I finally found some peace with food. I broke up with my scale. I discovered that while I love working out, I hate running. I stayed a tight size 10, but I still hated my body. My birthday is May 28th, and on May 29th, 2017, I saw the pictures from my birthday dinner, and I wanted to crawl under the table. My cheeks looked like hamster cheeks. My eyes were tiny little dots. Granted, I was laughing at all these pictures, but from my bystander seat, I was mortified by how I looked. My mom had just joined WW, and after a few weeks of poking around on her account, seeing how many points were in various items, I realized I wanted to do it for real, and I was ready to commit. I joined, weighing in at 178 pounds. My weight loss story was one of ease. The events I mentioned before set me up for success. WW gave me the framework to make it happen. In addition to having lots of information about nutrition, I'm also obsessed with exercise. I like to set an attendance goal for the year. In 2017, my exercise goal was 260 workouts in the year. I ended the year at 285. For 2018, my attendance goal is 270, but my secret performance goal is 300. We shall see. I have never consistently weighed less than 170, so I set my goal at like 165, still 6 pounds heavier than my healthy weight range. And I felt like I would be at goal then. Between my food choices and my dedication to exercise, I easily hit that by Labor Day of 2017, but I didn't feel like I was at goal. So I reset my goal weight for 155. For the month of September, I bumped back and forth in the low 160s. My size 10 clothing was baggy. I discovered I was a size 8, and depending on the store, a size 6. I went from wearing tight mediums to baggy mediums or fitted smalls. Finally, October 2017, I broke into the 150s. I can't even tell you the last time I was in that decade. I can't even tell you the last time I had a healthy BMI. I should have been elated. I should have been doing backflips, but I still felt uncomfortable. I still felt ashamed of my body. Even though I could see the changes I had made on the outside, I didn't feel any different than 19 pounds heavier. It's now October 2018, and I've gained and lost the same 8 pounds for a year. I've never gotten all the way down to 155. I haven't been able to keep myself in the 150s, nor have I gained past 165, which brings me to why I'm writing and the lessons that I'm currently learning. In September, I decided to get some data. What did the experts think about my weight and my health? I went to my primary care physician. According to her, the scale number didn't matter. My blood work was fantastic. My waist to hip ratio was fabulous, and I was healthy. I saw a personal trainer. My heart rate was great. My strength was fabulous. I was in great shape. So who cares if the number isn't what I wanted it to be? Well, I cared. I started to weigh myself daily, thinking that this would both keep me accountable and also keep me to look at the number just as data and not make it count so much. Well, it mostly made me crazy. So on October 1st, I again broke up with the scale. It wasn't giving me the data that I wanted, so let's ditch it. Did my pants still fit? Yep. Then that's what matters. Maybe my body wasn't meant to weigh 155. Maybe it wanted to weigh 165, and I should accept myself as I am and move forward. As tends to be the way with things, life hit. The beginning of October found me dealing with my grandfather being put in hospice and traveling back and forth to Florida multiple times. As I always have, I turned to food. But as I wasn't weighing myself, I found I was better able to track honestly. Who cares about the blue dots when I'm not trying to lose weight? I didn't go crazy, as my natural food inclinations tend to be relatively healthy, but I could feel my pants starting to get a little tighter than they had before. Well, and then finally, about a week ago, it clicked. Even though I wasn't weighing myself, I still wanted to feel good. I still wanted to feel comfortable in my skin, and the choices that I was making, they weren't helping me to accept my body or be comfortable with myself. Instead, I was moving in the opposite direction, and I realized I needed to commit. I needed to commit to getting to a place where I feel happy in my body. I need to commit to being so in tune with myself that I will know when I get there. Goal isn't a number. Goal is a feeling. What does goal feel like? Well, I remember sliding on my size 8 jeans last fall after they had been taken out of the laundry and thinking, goal feels like putting on pants from the dryer without needing to roll around on the floor for 30 minutes to make them fit. Beyond that moment, I'm not sure what goal will feel like. But I know that chasing a number on the scale wasn't getting me there. Right now, I'm paying attention to how things feel, and I'm going from there. Breaking up with my scale allowed me to get in tune with how I actually felt in my body versus trying to get some arbitrary number. Well, this may not be right for everyone, but that's what's right for me. The things that help me, my incredible supportive spouse, my Connect tribe, Unlock Happiness tribe, I'm looking at you, my BFF, Fearless Girl, who always gets me, my early AM workout, because a working mom, this is me time, your podcast, and knowing that my story is unique and that it's mine, but it's similar to so many others and my why. I'm doing this so that I can finally know what goal feels like. I'm doing this so I can finally feel comfortable in my skin. I'm doing this so I can model real life living for my girls. I want to eat real ice cream cones and fruit salad with them, and for them to know that all food is delicious and wonderful and has a time and a place. I'm doing this so I can be happy in my skin. Thank you for finally helping me finally understand what you've been saying all along. I believe in me. There we go. If that doesn't sum up this entire journey, I don't know what does. So before we dive in, I first want to recognize, the trip you made back and forth to Florida. It's just my heart breaks for you in that regard. So I hope all is well. I hope your family is able to find the comfort and peace, and just continue to put yourself the priority where it needs to be when it needs to be. Your journey is unique. It is yours, but as so many people have said, Liz, that what happens throughout this entire journey is unique to ourselves, but there are snippets and pieces of it that can relate to everybody. The freshman 15 is a real thing. There are stages in life where we know incremental weight gain is going to happen, and you experience them, and you experience many of them as you go throughout your journey. And so now you sharing them with others gives them the understanding that it's going to happen and the tools to achieve it and to beat it. Thanks for writing in. I know so many of you want to write in and you think, well, my story's not going to matter, and I want to certainly encourage you to do that. But I think a couple key things in your email, what I want to point out that I think is the coolest thing ever, is you are always learning. This is an education, and I believe this firmly too. It took me a while to get here as well, but you took it further. You went all the way to a nutritionist and sat with a therapist. I think that's incredibly powerful and incredibly strong. And what that shows me is that you have wanted this all along. You want to be a good role model for your family. You want to be a good role model for your community, and you took it upon yourself to make sure you got the education that you needed. We can't go through this whole life thinking we have all the answers. And so, sitting with someone who spent their time as a nutritionist, certainly valuable lesson. And, fortunately for you, you're not a picky eater. I'm working on that. I want to get to that point in my own life. And maybe that's the answer, right? Maybe tagging in someone who gets it helps. But what happened is even though that relationship ended, you moved on from the nutritionist. Once someone teaches you something, it's very difficult to unlearn it. And so what I mean by that is throughout this entire journey, you took notes along the way. So up and down and whatever it is, but you can't ever lose that education. So whether you're wearing tight mediums and baggy mediums or fitted smalls or even the clothes got too big again, the education that was given to you taught you how to get back here. And so that's what this whole thing is about. I firmly believe in the same way. Is I learned an awful lot by tracking every single day and learning what worked for me, what didn't work for me, and you'll never be able to forget that. That was very instrumental in my journey, just like it was yours. And so, but I had to do what was right for me as well. I had to realize that goal isn't this number. The number on the scale doesn't matter. I see folks every once in a while that, I put a post on Connect the other day that I said, how can I help you? What is it you need? And some of the comments were, I had the X amount of pounds more to lose. I want to lose 10 more pounds. And my thought process behind that is, how did you come up with the number 10? I mean, have you ever asked someone or talked to someone, and say, I'd like to lose 6.5 more pounds. I'd like to lose 7.6 more pounds. Everyone rounds up to 10 at that point, arbitrarily. And then we get defeated when we can't hit it, but we pick the number out of the sky. And the more we have to lose, the lower the number we pick, and we have no idea what our body is going to look like, feel like, or be like when we get there. We just pick a nice round number because it sounds good. Well, we don't know. Goal isn't a number. It's a feeling. And you're right. What it does feel like is walking into your closet, picking up anything, trying it on, putting it on, and knowing that you look damn good in it, and not caring because you're like, no, I'll take it out of the dryer. I'll buy it off the shelf. I don't have to try it on. Being comfortable in your own skin is what we are all after. That is the pride and joy. And when you get there, the healthy relationship that you now have with food, the healthy relationship you now have with your body, the healthy relationship you are now passing on to your daughters, that's the gift of life. That's the gift that just keeps on giving. That's the gift that'll be around for generations, and you're now modeling amazing behavior. I call that hashtag, be the prize, right? Show them what health looks like. And health certainly has balance. It certainly has moderation. Yeah, there's no reason not to sit with them and enjoy an ice cream cone. And then the next day, enjoy a nice fruit salad. You get to figure out what it is that you need in the moment to balance your entire life. You did that. You did it with incredible support. Your spouse, amazing. Connect Tribe for sure. BFF, the podcast, everything that you have employed in this journey as a tool is part of your education. You've taken that education, you've graduated, and now you're out applying it. I said this the other day too, is that it's one of those things that, when you go and you graduate from college, how many people refer back to their textbooks daily? Not so much, right? So maybe you take that education and you build on it as you move forward. But certainly the tools are there should you need to go back and reference them. That's the beauty of this journey, is you're getting it done. You're getting it done your way. You're happy. You understand goal is a feeling. Goal is a feeling. Goal is a mindset. And you will get to that point where you truly appreciate every single aspect of this journey. And it's incredibly inspiring to read your words and share them with our community, because what you have written out is things that I have just now started to understand as well. And it just often reinvigorates me to just be the best version of me. And it's at that point we celebrate. So what is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to fatdag.com, click on the WhysAdvice podcast, send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. Folks, you know the deal. On air at fatdag.com. If you send email in, I will put it on the show. If you don't send email in, we won't put it on the show. It's that simple. That's what this show is all about. I want you to email in those celebrations, and I want you to email in your questions, your comments, because I want you to be absolutely proud of what you're doing. I want you to get clarity in what you're doing. I want you to hit goal. That feeling we just talked about, it's there. It's capable. It's inside of you, and you can bring it out. I want you to share it. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember that losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Whoop whoop. Very fun. How cool is that? That was a long, good email. I think we can all relate to a lot of it, right? So, Judy says, liked your time-ish. Yeah, Marcia asked me what time I was going to do the show, and I said 9:30-ish, and then I didn't know what my life was going to be like tonight, but we got it in. We totally got it in. So 9:30 right on the nose. Jane says, I love the whoop whoop. Yep, whoop whoop. Whoop whoop, it's fun. Donna says, 2:30 in the books. Dina says, super show, thank you, very relatable, says Glenda. That's the coolest thing I love about this, Alice, thank you. More than anything, I love exactly, they're so relatable. It's just, man, we're all in the same boat, truly, still. So, Bev says, love the broccoli video. Yeah, we'll get there. We will certainly get there. Like I said, my goal, what I'm transitioning to right now, or trying to transition to, is I'm a picky eater. I would love to, a year from now, 2 years from now, be able to just eat anything, whatever that means. So, I mean, not like anything in that sense, but meaning like there's a lot of healthy food I don't eat, and I would love to just not have to worry about that, but we'll get there. Daisy, I gave you a shout out in the middle of the episode for sure. Now it's broccoli-ish. Very fun. Cool. All right, let's get this thing published. I want to do that. I want you to get to bed. The best thing you can do for your life is get sleep. So you should be doing that. And that's what I'm working on as well. So let's get this thing published. Let's get it in the app. Let's get you to bed, and then let's start all over tomorrow. I gave a tip to the Patreon community. Those of you in Patreon, thank you for that. But we do a Monday chat, Mondag chat, every Mondag. And the tip I gave, I want to share with all of you as well. I think this works. And I really, I want you to, if you don't have one, that's great. But tomorrow, stop somewhere, steal it from the office if you have to. I'm kidding. But get a dry erase marker, right? For the whiteboards, there's plenty of markers everywhere. I want you to stop at the store and buy one. And then I want you to use it on your bathroom mirror. It wipes right off. There's no fear. It wipes off with a tissue. But I want you to every single morning write on your mirror when you wake up. I want you to set a goal for the day, and I want you to write it on your mirror. I want you to commit to it, and I want you to get it done. And it doesn't have to be something crazy. I just want you to commit to it for the day. But I want you to write it down. And your bathroom mirror is a great place. You're going to stare at it for, in some cases for a couple hours, right? I'll stare at it for like 6 minutes, but some of you will stare at it for like 3 or 4 hours in the morning. But I want you to get that goal in your brain. Putting it down helps. Seeing it helps, and then come home at night and check it off. That's your goal. So keep doing that. Keep doing what works. If you do that, I would love to see it in the Wise Wingman community. Go to wisewingman.com. Share your picture of your bathroom mirror with your goal set on it, and we will encourage you to get it done. So on that note, let's wrap it up. Thank you truly for being here. Instagram, let's shut you off first. TJ, thank you for being here. Ginger and Steve, thank you. Billy, Ann, thank you. Have a great night. I truly wish you good focus. Good night. And then YouTube as well. Thank you. I got to shave tomorrow morning. YouTube, thank you for being here. Keep rocking it, right? Truly appreciate every night that you guys continue to tune in. It's the best time of night for me. So thank you for being here. I wish you good focus. And I totally, 100% believe in you. Good night.